Today we will learn about covalent bonding. Our central question for the day is, how do atoms form bonds by sharing electrons? We need to know two vocabulary terms. The first is nonmetal, or elements that lack metallic properties, such as malleability, luster, and conductivity. With the exception of hydrogen, these elements exist on the right side of the periodic table. Our second vocabulary word is valence electrons, which are electrons that orbit furthest from an atom's nucleus. They are in the outermost shell that is not empty. First, let's consider what is a Lewis dot diagram. Well, a Lewis dot diagram shows only the valence or outermost electrons of an atom. So, even though oxygen has 8 electrons to bounce its 8 protons, only 6 of them are in its outermost shell. So we're going to draw 6 electrons around the oxygen. Hydrogen, on the other hand, only has 1 valence electron, so it only has 1 dot. Notice how we always draw 1 dot on each side before we pair any up. So you draw 4 lone electrons before you start adding pairs of electrons. Now, draw the Lewis dot diagrams for the given elements. Pause the video and do this now. Now let's consider what is a covalent bond. Co means jointly, partnered, or together. So covalent means electrons that are partnered in their valence or outermost electrons. A covalent bond, also called a molecular bond, is a chemical bond that involves the sharing of electron pairs between atoms of nonmetallic elements. Compounds formed by covalent bonding are known as molecules. Since oxygen is a nonmetal, if we bond 2 oxygen atoms together, we will get a covalent bond. And then O2 would be the oxygen molecule. Nitrogen is treated the same way. If you look at water, or H2O, dihydrogen monoxide, you will see that there are 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen, and each hydrogen is bonded to the central oxygen. So, since hydrogen and oxygen are both nonmetals, they will form a covalent bond, and the 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen will end up forming a molecule. Carbon dioxide also acts the same way. Remember, molecular bonds are like a handshake after a good deal is made. For many molecules, the sharing of electrons will allow each atom to attain the equivalent of a full outer shell. So basically, the atoms pool or share their resources in order to make each of them happier and achieve the goals of both atoms. So what is the octet rule? Well, the octet rule is a chemical rule of thumb that atoms of the main group elements, so the ones on the left and the right, tend to combine in such a way that each atom has exactly 8 electrons in its valence shell, giving it the same electron configuration as a noble gas. However, there is one notable exception, which is hydrogen, which only wants 2 electrons to reflect that the electron configuration will resemble helium, which only has 2 valence electrons. Now, what are bonding pairs? Well, bonding pairs are the shared electrons between atoms of a molecule. They're like the handshakes that allow the atoms to complete their octet, complete their deal to make both parties happy. Let's consider carbon dioxide. So, if you try to pair up carbon and oxygen, you'll see that carbon has 4 valence electrons and oxygen has 6. Well, carbon wants 8 electrons, so in order to do that, it needs to put out all 4 of its unpaired electrons and try to make deals. However, oxygen only needs 2 more electrons to complete its octet, so it puts out its 2 unbonded electrons as negotiation for their deal. So carbon's going to shake two hands with oxygen or form a double bond, two bonds. However, although oxygen is happy and carbon is more happy than it was, the carbon is still not completely satisfied, so it continues to put out its other two unbonded and unpaired electrons and comes to an agreement with a second oxygen atom. Now, all three atoms are happy. They are working together to satisfy both their own and the other atom's needs. In total, there are 4 handshakes or bonding pairs in the molecule. This can be represented as straight lines in a Lewis structure. So, Lewis structures are how we represent molecules. Any pairs of electrons that are not bonding are called lone pairs. They are represented as 2 dots, one for each electron. However, electrons that are engaged in a bond are represented by a line, the line showing that you have one electron from each of the atoms connected to it. So, how do you know how many bonds an atom forms? Well, hydrogen forms 1, oxygen forms 2, nitrogen forms 3, and carbon forms 4. Honk if you love molecules! Well, honk 1, 2, 3, 4 tells you how many bonds hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and carbon form, along with other nonmetals in their groups on the periodic table. If you don't like this, just count the number of unpaired electrons after you make the Lewis dot diagram. So, hydrogen behaves like a halogen or group 17 element. It forms a single bond. Oxygen forms 2 bonds, and if these 2 bonds are to the same atom, we call it a double bond. Nitrogen forms 3 bonds, and when it's all 3 to the same atom, then we call it a triple bond. Notice how carbon can form 4 single bonds, 2 double bonds, or a single bond and a triple bond. So, how do we represent a covalent bond? Let's use 2 chlorine atoms as an example. The first step is to write the Lewis dot diagrams for the involved atoms. Well, chlorine is in group 17, so it has 7 valence electrons. We see that we have 3 pairs of electrons, and the other electron is unpaired. Rearrange the electrons and add any additional atoms if they're necessary. So in this case, we're going to want to put the unpaired electrons facing each other. That way we can bond them. In this case, we have an even number of unpaired electrons on each atom, so we should be able to just bond them together without adding any extra atoms. Now, circle the new valence shells for each atom. Each shell will have 8 electrons except hydrogen, which only has 2. So in this case, you'll see that when we put the 2 electrons together and we draw the circles around the 2 chlorines, we have this part in the middle that's shared by both. That's the shared pair. Now we're going to write the element symbols and draw in bond lines and lone pairs. So any electron that participates in a bond will not be drawn as a circle anymore. Instead, we're going to replace both of them with a line, and we leave our lone pairs as pairs of dots. Finally, write the new compound's molecular formula. This is the formula for a chlorine molecule, Cl2, because we had to have 2 Cl atoms in order to make the molecule. Now let's try again using nitrogen and hydrogen as an example. We know that hydrogen has 1 valence electron and nitrogen has 5 valence electrons, which turns out to be a lone pair and 3 unpaired electrons. Hydrogen only has 1 unpaired electron to share, so what's going to happen is there's going to form a bond between hydrogen and nitrogen, but nitrogen's going to be left with 2 more unpaired electrons. To fix this, nitrogen is going to find 2 more hydrogens to bond with. This will ensure that nitrogen has a full octet and each hydrogen has a full valence shell as well with its 2 electrons. Let's draw our circles representing our valence shell just to make sure that we have the correct number of electrons in each place, and replace all of the overlapped electrons or the shared electrons with bond lines. Now we used 1 nitrogen and 3 hydrogen, so NH3 is the formula for ammonia. Pause the video and click the link in the description to watch the video. Then try the Sum It Up questions.